Call along me loud, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Bashim Kakadash, the bonds to the apostle Elsewhere, most of peace I teach him with full life. Then, as you can see in the lesson right here, it says, man stabbed girl 15 times after she ignored his good morning greeting. Prosecutors say, September 28th, 6:25 p.m. It says, a 60-year-old man is accused of randomly stabbing a teenage girl more than a dozen times in Little Village after she ignored his greeting of good morning while walking to the gym, prosecutors said. Miguel Carrera allegedly attacked the 16-year-old girl around 8:39 a.m. on September 11th in the 2700 block of West Kermack Road. According to CPD, the girl told police Carrera punched her in the face, breaking her glasses, before forcing her to the ground. Prosecutors said that's when he pulled out a pocket knife and stabbed her approximately 15 times in the head, arms, and hands as she tried to shield herself. She suffered stab wounds to her forehead, the back of her head, her left hand, and her right forearm. Witnesses intervened, pulling Carrera off the girl and calling 911, prosecutors said. A passerby drove the girl to the Mount Sinai Hospital, where doctors closed her injuries with stitches and staples. The attack was caught on video, and prosecutors said Carrera and the girl had never met before. Carrera allegedly fled the scene, but was arrested about half a mile away. Judge Antera Rivera ordered Carrera detained on 2 counts of aggravated battery causing great bodily harm. Rivera noted that Carrera admitted to the attack, strengthening her decision to keep him in jail. Wow. And it appears to be this man looks like he could probably be from another kingdom, but he looked like he could pass off a Edomite. But he do have slight facial features of a, typical another kingdom Israelite. But yeah, he's pretty much, that fair skin that he looks like he could pass for a, so-called white man. But wanted to kind of give my 2 cents in on this article before I get into the scriptures that, this guy is crazy. Like, this is why, like, you gotta pretty much, when you see these crazy ass people and they greet you or whatever the case is, like, just say what's up, greet them back. You know what I mean? The best way you can, because, you got people out here that's crazy. Just getting randomly attacked just for not even greeting somebody, just not even saying what's up is wild. You know what I mean? And it goes to show you right there that you women are not really tough like as y'all think y'all are. Chicago's where shit really go down, of course. That's a city where, the gang activity over there is, egregious, and best believe gang politics is always some shit going on every fucking day, and probably realistically every hour, a few hours or so. You know what I'm saying? Because there's just some areas where they don't call it Chirac for no reason, because it's like a lot of gang wars going on over there, and it's just to the point where even regular cops there's areas there they have some blind eyes too over there. You know what I'm saying? So, and you best believe a lot of times when you see these women going to a gym, I mean, she's pretty much considered to be a minor in Esau's society, because they consider 18 as an adult. Yeah, she's pretty much considered to be a minor, and at the same time, more than likely, she probably is prideful, because usually at the age, I'll say maybe sometimes in high school, you see women going to their glow up phase, like around 15, 16 could be the age or so. Every woman pretty much gets her beauty, that glow up phase will be like, yeah, pretty much like maybe around like sophomore, junior year in high school, maybe even sometimes senior year. Every woman is different, but you could best believe that she's a prideful ass woman that was going to the gym, and for someone to greet you and you ignore that person, I mean, yeah, let's just say that she probably used to many guys hollering at her, and then at the same time she may not even holler at them back, because it's just so cliche to her. you know. But for someone to really just randomly assault you just because of you not greeting them back is just completely wild. And that's just absurd and atrocious. But it goes to show you the times that we live in. You know, these times like are pretty rough, and you know, you gotta be very circumspect. And it says in Ephesians chapter 5 verse 15, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. Right. And you know, one thing is her going to the gym. I would probably even say that she probably most likely was even wearing her clothing a certain way, because you know, majority of the times when women go to the gym, you best believe they showing mad skin. Like, let's be honest, like you're gonna see women showing like hella skin, you know. And more than likely they go into a gym with boys and girls. They're not going to a all girls gym, because they do got all girls gyms out there, you best believe that. And majority of the times they want to go to gyms with boys and girls, the ones that's co-ed. And then at the same time they like to try to work out in front of men on purpose, right? Trying to get their attention. And then when a man looks at you or pretty much hollers at you, then you want to claim that you are pretty much being harassed. You know what I'm saying? And now you want to call extra attention upon yourself to act like you're the victim, where you're the one who's putting yourself in that situation. But other than that, you know, going back to this thing now, this situation. So yeah, you know, he probably, who knows if he wanted to greet her because he really probably lusted after her. And then, you know, more than likely, given the fact that she's walking out there without being chaperoned by a man, and then at the same time she's, you know, pretty much more than likely wearing apparel that's considered to be too revealing and not modest at all. Because I mean, when you see, like, let's say women that are pretty much like considered to be Muslim, and a lot of times they wear their hijab and work out, and they, you know, cover up, you know, still, even though they work out. And you know, I've seen some women that like are Muslim that play sports, and you know, that they wear their hijab and things of that nature, and still like have their apparel, you know, very modest, to where you don't see, you know, skin like that at all. And there's pretty much no excuse to dress in a modest apparel, even if you're working out at that point. And yeah, he most likely lusted after her, and you know, tried to shoot his shot, which is why he greeted her that, you know, that morning. And then she rejected him to feel like, you know, she's just on that level, to not even say hello back, to think that she, you know, is pretty much you know, what these women call nowadays a bad bitch. And that's what she figures that she is. So hey, that's the judgment that happened to her. And of course, you know, I've never seen the photo, how she look or whatever the case is, but this is, you know, me making assumptions, because of course, you know, the Lord doesn't write off judgment a certain way to be carried out on you, you know, for no reason. You know, it happened for a reason. And this is gonna be the last precept, because there's not really much of to say, you know, other than the fact that you just gotta be, you know, very vigilant and, you know, of course, circumspect, and you just gotta always be on your guard and just mostly staying prayed up, because you don't know what could potentially happen to you out here, knowing how these times are getting more evil. It says, Colossians chapter 4 verse 5, it says, walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. Yeah, because even to the point where you're probably just gonna have to just even greet a person that's trying to greet you. You know what I mean? I mean, it is respectful to just, say what's up to someone that says hello to you. You know what I mean? If they don't know you and you don't know them. But other than that, you just keep it pushing, And for the most part, it's usually best to always try to reply respectfully, because you never know what people are going through, and you never know not only what people are going through, but you don't know what they got in plan. For someone that just doesn't want to greet them after they just greeted you, And I even see instances on the news where some people would potentially even just get attacked just for not even saying thank you after someone has opened the door for you. You see, shit like that could have been avoided if that person would have just said thank you. Given how there's so much crazy people out here that's just trying to find a reason to just attack you. So yeah. So with that, homie, let's edify, let's give all glory, praise, honor to Adonai Yahweh, B'Hashem, Shamalak, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem, Rakakdash, Tawanas of the Apostle, Elsbeth, Milson, Pizza, Shalom.